Welcome back to the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast. I'm your host, Jesse Ewell, and today we're going to be talking about the habit of 1%. Listen, there's a lot of people that like to talk about taking action, taking massive action. In fact, some of the most successful, most influential people in the world live by this. I can think of, Tony Robbins as the main guy who always talks about taking massive action. But today I want to talk about you just taking this 1% step, about creating a habit of 1%. How you improving 1% every single day can radically alter your life in as little as 1 year. You see, habits are the compound effect of improvement. Of this improvement of yourself or whatever area you begin to work on. The same is true is they can have the same compound effect on a destructive habit. So, maybe drinking a drink every single day or having a glass of wine every single day is not that bad, but guess what? It does have a compound effect. And doing this over and over could have a negative compound effect on your health, on your body. You could insert anything. You could insert a cigarette, smoking a cigarette one time. I could also use the example of me chewing tobacco one time. It's not that bad. But imagine if that one chew done 365 times over the course of a year, 365 days, now begins to have a negative effect on me. The same would go into doubt, worry, fear, criticism. Doing that every single day is like you having a negative compound effect on not improving yourself, but actually making yourself worse. So think about this on both sides, is we can get 1% better every single day, or we can get 1% worse every single day. But here's the other thing. Imagine if you're eating bad food every single day for a year, you are now getting a negative compound effect in your nutrition for an entire year. And people don't always change this in a year. They could go a lifetime. They could go years without doing this. But many times they don't look and say, okay, well, listen, I've went 30 years, 20 years, 10 years, or a year of eating this 1% worse every single day, and I expect to see results after just 3 weeks. But just getting 1% better every single day counts for a lot in the short term and long term. But I want to make this as simple as possible, so no matter how big or how small you may think your habits are, they all have a compounding effect. It can be negative or it can be positive. And what I mean by negative, it's you not getting the results you want. What I mean by positive is you actually working towards getting the results that you actually want in your life. And I think of habits as a double-edged sword. They can work against us or they can work for us. They can get us what we want or get us what we don't want. They can either work for us or not work for us. But small changes over time often appear to make no difference until they cross a certain point, and then we start seeing the results. I like to use examples in the gym because I can remember training people for literally 20 years, and even just the last 4.5, 5 years training entrepreneurs who are like, man, I'm not seeing any results. And it's like, dude, really stand back and look at yourself in the mirror. And if you're so focused on the result, you don't actually see where you're at. And so imagine you have this result that you're focused on. Because you're focused on that, you're not actually seeing yourself change. But there's a certain place that we call this critical point, this critical place, where you begin to see the visual effects of changes. You begin to see the compound effect of what you've been doing. You see, the most powerful habits have a compounding process, but they're delayed, which means you have to actually be patient to see them. You have to actually be patient to see the result of this. Think about nutrition. You could change your nutrition and not necessarily see much change physically or on a scale in 3 or 4 weeks. But around that 4, 5, and 6 week, you begin to see a dramatic difference if you're patient. I think about, working out inside of fitness. You don't get strong after one workout, after 1 week, after 2 weeks, after 1 month. You start getting stronger immediately, but you will not see it actually take place for about 4 to 6 weeks. And here's why. There's a compounding effect when it comes to nutrition. If you've been off the radar with nutrition and eating like shit, well, guess what? It's going to take you 4 to 6 weeks just for your body to get used to eating normal again. Because eating like shit was your new normal, now you have to be patient in accepting this new place. No different than working out. If you've lacked working out or not done it at all, don't expect to see results until about 4 to 6 weeks. If you've been spending all of your money, all of a sudden, if you start investing, you don't actually begin to see the results for about 4 to 6 weeks. If you invest $1 every day, the result is not going to be enough for you to even pay attention to. Think about it. If I invest $1 every single day, if I just look at the dollar I'm investing every single day, it only looks like I'm investing $1. But after 6 weeks, I have now invested $42, and now I start seeing the impact of what it actually looks like to invest money. But if I only look at what I'm willing to invest every single day, it's not going to look like much. And think about this inside your marriage. If you're leaving your wife a message every single day, it doesn't look like much when I do that. But over 4 weeks, 6 weeks, over 8 weeks, over 12 weeks, it starts to have a compound effect to where I'm now starting to see a result in a change in my wife and how we are actually showing up for each other. Now, most of us, when it comes to results or when it comes to habits, we're not patient enough. We're not willing to wait to actually see the difference and see the change. Most are unwilling to maintain a habit long enough to see an actual long-term benefit. See, and why this matters is because you must be willing to be patient for the results, just like you were willing to be patient for the terrible food you were eating, for the lack of workouts you were doing, for the less time you were paying attention to your wife, and for the neglect you had in your business. So here is your real lesson when we're talking about this. 1% better every single day leads to you changing 37.7% over the course of a year. Now think about this for a minute. This is what I like to call going from changing your life to changing your lifestyle. Because changing your life requires you to live something for 90 days. Changing your lifestyle requires you to live something for a lot longer, for a year. And once you've lived it for a year, you now have this lifestyle. So imagine if you were going to change nearly 40% over the next year inside of your fitness. Imagine where you could be inside of your fitness and nutrition 1 year from now, literally changing 40%. Just think about this, 1% difference every single day. Imagine your weight, 1% difference every single day in your weight. 1% difference in your nutrition every single day for a year. 1% difference in your spirituality. 1% difference in your marriage. 1% difference in your business. If I told you you could have a 40% return on your marriage in 1 year if you followed these steps, would you do it? If I told you your business could improve 40%, nearly 40% over the course of the year if you just did these things, would you do it? And everyone would say yes. But the minute I said, hey, you have to do this one thing every single day, you'd be like, I don't know if I can do that. So your habits are the compounding interest of 40%. Your habits are the compounding interest of your results over a year. And let's say this. Let's say you skip a day. Not that big of a deal. But in the long run, you skip 1 day every single month. All of a sudden, we've skipped 12 days. That 12 days adds up to 1.2% difference. And so we take that off of the 37.7. Now all of a sudden you're down to like 35. So this means that you are decreasing the percent you can change over the course of a year. And most people take 50 to 75% of the time off, and they want to increase that percentage so much that they actually stop seeing the result that they actually want. And so as you think about this, hey, how come my life isn't changing? Well, 50% of the time you're not investing anything. Actually, you're having a negative compounding effect. And the other time you're investing, and so all that's happening is every single year you're breaking even. And maybe you're even not breaking even. Maybe you're withdrawing from a certain area. Maybe you're only getting like a 0.5% better. Because here's what I know, and here's what I teach people inside of habit-based lifestyle. You can change your life every single quarter by nearly 10%. You're shedding your old skin every single day, every month, every quarter, every year. And so in doing this, you following through with a habit, the habits that we customize for you specifically to get you the results that you want to improve 40% over the course of the year, you're not going to skip those. You're going to realize that those are important. And so when it comes to taking action, massive action to me is taking a leap. Action is just taking one step. Hey, all I got to do is focus on this one step today. This is getting me closer to where I want to be a year from now. So I just focus on the one step, 365 days. I keep focusing on that one step every single day, because if I look at the massive action, hey, maybe I can leapfrog, a month. But guess what? On the other side of that, that creates a lot of friction for me to rebound back. But here's what I know. After a year of doing this, 37.7% better, 2 years. All of a sudden, you're at 80%. 3 years, you're all of a sudden 120%. You're a completely different person than you were 3 years ago. I've experienced this through habits. This is the whole reason why I created habit-based lifestyle, because I knew that people could transform through habits by getting 1% better every day. And that 1% better every day was you living a habit-based lifestyle every single day, that over the next year you could improve up to nearly 40% just by doing this one customized habit for you every single day. So here's what I want you to do. You're going to envision the changes that you could actually make 1 year from now. Think about this. You're going to close your eyes and you're going to see this new version of yourself in 1 year. And we have New Year's approaching, less than like 60 days away. Just use this. Imagine where you could be a year from now. It could alter your entire world. In 1 year, see yourself. See this version of yourself. And there's massive transformation. But what would that 37.7% look like for you inside of your fitness and nutrition, inside of your spirituality, your being, inside of your marriage, your relationships with your kids, your family, inside of your business and the money you're making. Imagine just having almost 40% more money than you have right now in your bank account. But I want you to sit with this for a little while, a few minutes, and just draw out a vision for your life. Draw out an imagination of where you could be. And don't be afraid to challenge yourself. Don't be afraid to live this challenge-based lifestyle, this habit-based lifestyle, and create a new version of you. Create a new version of you 1 year from now being this 37.7% better. I can promise you that if you paint this out and you be committed to the habits that support this, you will get there faster than you think. I want to thank you guys for being on here. If you are looking to connect further with a group of like-minded people, join myself and so many others in the Habit-Based Lifestyle Secrets group on Facebook, where I will be dropping daily habits to help you live to your full potential. You want to be one of our next case studies and begin living this habit-based lifestyle? Maybe you have questions, concerns, comments, requests. Feel free to reach out to me, Jesse at habitbasedlifestyle.com. Until next episode, have a great day.